It was a dark and stormy morning that I'm about to sneeze at. Here on Saturday, October the 19th. I still have to look at the date, even though I've been doing 5 days. Day 5. Day 5. I'm getting a little scraggly here. But that's okay. I haven't taken my shower yet today. But, whoops, what'd I do? I don't know. I always shave on my Saturday, because it's my one day I can just take as long of a shower as I want. Usually I wake up and wash quickly and get out the door for work. But I have been sleeping this morning. I did manage to watch, since we're talking about horror movies, horror things. I got some of my creepy, scary TV shows watched. I got before I fell asleep. I know I watched Evil. I know I watched an episode of Evil, the new CBS show, which has been pretty good so far. I've enjoyed it. First American Horror Story, 1984. Oh, and The Purge came back this week. The Purge is on season 2. I saw most of it. I kept having to like back it up because I was falling asleep during it. But season 2 of The Purge has started. If you weren't aware, if you weren't even aware that there was a Purge TV show, yes, there is. The first season was pretty good. Second season is like picking up with like all new characters, and there's a cat in my face. But so maybe I'll be connected to them a little bit, eventually. Don't knock over my movies. They already fell over once. I can already see a couple in here. I usually try not to pay too much attention to what's going on in my pile, because I want to be surprised by them when I pick them up, so that I know, so that I'm like, oh, look, this movie. But the first one on top is Michael Keaton's White Noise. I remember liking this one very much. And of course, it has the cool, shiny slipcover. So, that's, and it was Hastings, and I miss Hastings, and it makes me sad. But, this isn't the movie I'm thinking of. I'm thinking of Stir of Echoes. What was White Noise? Here we are back again. I thought I was going to have something to say about this one, and I have no idea. White Noise. Was this the one that I was talking about the other day, where he's like a security guard or something? It's still in. I don't want to take it out of the. I don't want to take it out of the Hastings package, because then it'll be truly gone. I have to, though. I have to read the back of this. Because I remember something about, there was a movie, I almost want to say that, Kiefer Sutherland was in it. He was the main guy, but maybe it was Michael Keaton was the main guy. I remember, because it was something about he was a security guard, and it had something to do with the mirrors. The line separating the living from the dead has been crossed. Maybe now you can see how shiny it is. Ooh, look at those. Of course, there's a sticker on the back, so I still have my Hastings. It's still here. Oh, he's an architect in this. EVP, that's right. I remember something about EVP. So this probably isn't the movie that I was thinking of. But, I don't know. White Noise. I feel like they made more than one of these. They might have made 2 or 3, maybe. Maybe this is the series that had the guy from, I was talking about the other day, Battlestar Galactica. It's Jamie Bombert or something, however you say that guy's name. Was in it. And it wasn't great. I want to say that's the one with the, like I said the other day, I want to say that's the one where they put the red tape up over the windows. And it was a remake of a Japanese film, The Eyes, maybe? I don't know. I think it's in my collection somewhere here, so I don't know. Mortuary. Recently, I'm pretty sure this is the one I remember the end of it, because it has Tasha Yar in it. She's the mother. In the small town of Santa Gloriana, California, the decrepit, long-abandoned Fowler Funeral Home has become a local legend. Okay, that's a plane. I don't know if you can hear it, but it's one of my psychic moments, as Tanya likes to call them, my friend Tanya, because like I'll just stop and I'll like look and I'll be like, I hear something, like Professor Xavier. But anyway, at first I was like, are they mowing? It's raining. It's raining out there. Why are they mowing? Anyway, the funeral home has become a local legend. As the story has it, Zeb Fowler bought the land to start a... Whoa, hey honey. Let's be careful here. It will be a dark morning if I have to do this in the dark. So I'm not starting over. You may just have to watch very creepy if it comes off. But something killed off all the cattle. To make ends meet, Zeb became the town mortician, and the Fowler house was turned into a funeral home, complete with a cemetery for a yard. But the strangest part of the story is the Fowler's son, Bobby, whose face was so hideously disfigured it was hidden beneath a burial shroud. At age 8, Bobby mysteriously vanished, and 10 years later his parents were found murdered, their faces smashed in. Locals believe that Bobby is still alive. Today, the Fowler Funeral Home is the stuff nightmares are made of. Backed up sewage pooling in the yard, a house of filth, decay, coffins, embalming equipment, and a strange black fungus growing on everything. And now the Doyle family is moving in. Having recently lost her husband, Leslie Doyle, I probably could have started on this paragraph, sorry, is relocating her 2 children, Jonathan, Dan Bird, and Jamie, Stephanie Patton, to Santa Clarita so she can become the town's new mortician. But the Doyles have no idea of the horror that they're in for. Soon they'll uncover what happened to the Fowlers, what evil inhabits the grounds of their estate, and what happens to everyone who steps foot there. So, it's a pretty creepy looking something or other. I don't know what that is. But I remember the end of this movie. I don't remember much else. But I know at least I do know that I watched it because it's open. Well, no, I know I watched it because I remember Tasha Yar being in it, and I remember the end. So we'll leave it at that. Underworld, which is also open. I think was I buying these at Walmart because it's 6 spine-tingling tales of terror. There was some, there was something that it was like a set of different movies. They would put, like 6 or 7 or something movies on one DVD, and then you'd have 6 little stories. This one has Chainmail. Sayaka's friends get their kicks sending out hoax emails in the name of one of their classmates who committed suicide. Though Sakaya feels guilty about not standing up to the hoax, things start to go terribly awry when her classmates begin dying one by one under mysterious circumstances. It won't be long before Sayaka, I don't even know if I'm saying it correctly, but I know I mixed up a couple of the letters in the name last time, herself receives a terrifying electronic message. Left behind the mountain, Yoshimitsu is all out of luck when it comes to the ladies. After several unsuccessful attempts at internet dating, he turns into a human monster who finds pleasure in driving dates to remote mountainous locations and leaving them there. Unbeknownst to him, however, his luck in carrying out the evil schemes is nearing its startling end. Tattoo. Immersed in a self-indulgent lifestyle, Mina has no plans to change. One day, after finding a butterfly-shaped leaflet for a tattoo shop, she decides to drop by and take a look. Though unaware at the time, Mina meets a mysterious tattoo designer. Did I say makes? I don't know. Who turns out to be anything other than what she expected. Viewfinder's memory. 3 childhood friends take a vacation to a seaside cottage. As one of them falls in love instantly, another who happens to be filming the couple discovers an appalling secret via his video camera. Guardian Angel. Yumiko, down on her luck, sees no point in life and attempts suicide. However, she is repeatedly foiled in her efforts by unexplainable events that seem to conspire against her mission. Mortuary? This whole movie's on here. No, just kidding. Medical trainee Yohai? I'm not sure exactly. Attends an operation on a boy involved in a car accident, but unfortunately the boy does not survive surgery. Afterwards, the mother insists that something unspeakably terrible is wrong with the lifeless boy. So, there's kind of a couple different stories on there. 6 spine-tingling tales of horror. None of them popped out in my head as sounding anything familiar. They, some of them are very... I mean, I guess horror movies can be just as paint by numbers as, like a rom-com or something, But I guess the thing about horror for me is that, the unexpected happens more often, I suppose. Like, you don't necessarily know what character's going to go when, and that kind of stuff, or what's going to jump out at you from, which side of the screen, So, I guess it's a little bit more suspenseful for me than, like, a rom-com where, they're going to hate each other, and then they're going to fall in love and make babies and whatever, blah, 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 blah. Now, this next movie... The Exorcism of Emily Rose. This one, I will say, took me by surprise. Because it's basically Law and Order with some devil mixed in. Which, surprisingly, I didn't mind. Because usually when I sit down for a horror movie, you've heard me say it about some of the others, if it doesn't give me exactly what I expect or want, I don't enjoy it. But this one, I was engaged with both parts. The creepy parts were pretty creepy to this one. But then there was also the, the lawyer thing and, trying... Basically, it was like an episode of Law and Order, trying to prove, like, the devil exists or whatever, and then she starts getting pulled into this world, and blah, 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 blah. And it was actually a lot heavier on the Law and Order side than I expected, but I was so engaged with it and so interested, for lack of a better word, I suppose. I guess engaged with could have gotten you there. But it captivated me. Maybe that's the word I'm looking for. Captivated. I was so interested, even in the Law and Order parts of this. I didn't mind that necessarily the creepy parts were kind of, few and far between. Some legal jargon, some scenes filled with, like, all of that, courtroom scene, blah, 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 blah. So this one, I have always upheld, as one of those few movies that didn't give me exactly what I expected, but in this case, it didn't matter, because I was interested in whatever was going on at whichever time, even if it wasn't necessarily the creepy horror movie stuff, even if it was just like, the Law and Order courtroom stuff, it was still ended up being, a movie that pulled me in, and I was interested in no matter what it was giving me. So, Exorcism of Emily Rose, definitely worth a watch, definitely worth probably rewatching, I would say. I put this somewhere toward the top of my list for that one. And now we go back to shiny slipcover, don't know what the fuck it is. The Vanguard. It has a shiny slipcover. A new horror film that's hip, fresh, and uber violent, with 2 dots over the uber, packing so much blood and guts that it'll leave you winded. The year is 2015. Sure it is. The last known oil fields have been lost to global war. Overpopulation and famine have plunged our planet into chaos. But deep in the wilderness, one desperate survivor now finds himself hunted by corporate kill squads, sought by the resistance, and pursued by hordes of rage-crazed zombies. and a world ruled by murder, madness, and cannibalistic carnage, will humanity's last hope be measured in bloodshed? I don't know. I'm guessing this maybe had some kind of political slant to what was going on at the time. I don't necessarily remember 2015. I barely remember, yesterday. But it's so shiny. It's so shiny. Whee! It's open. I might have watched it. I don't know. Let's see. The Canal. Still in the plastic. It's an Irish ghost story. Offers an unsettling blend of old-fashioned horror and modern shock effects. Oh, what was I going to say? Something about it says the year 2015 on the Vanguard. Like it's always funny when like you live that year and you're like, no. Like you didn't put this far enough in the future. Sorry. That's what I was saying. Like maybe it was maybe it was trying to be some kind of political commentary on what was going on in the year 2015. I don't really recall for sure what was going on in 2015. But it's kind of like I read this book back in the 70s. I read this book in high school, and the book was written in the 70s, and it's said by I think the title of the book was 1998. That's the year that I graduated high school, by the way. So I was reading this in the 90s, and we were in this. I mean, I guess it's kind of nice that people had such, such an optimistic view of the future, maybe instead of in 2015 everything's dead and there's zombies and people are fighting and blah 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 blah. Because it was like a space station with the World's Fair was on some space station, and people were living up in space and blah 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 blah, and it was like kind of like Star Trek, I guess, with like a party mixed in because it was the World's Fair and whatever. I don't think I finished the book. I think not a whole lot was going on with it, so I went back to my R.L. Stine Fear Street. That was kind of a deal back then. But yeah, so it's just interesting when you're like, people had views of the future. When was that movie made? When was this movie made? 2008. 2008. So apparently in 2008, this person thought in less than 10 years the world was going to be dead or something. I don't know. As far as the canal goes, I don't know much about it either, but apparently it's an Irish ghost story. So that's kind of cool. I kind of like sometimes, we just visited New Mexico on vacation, and that's apparently, I don't think I even mentioned it in my YouTube, in my vacay videos for that trip, but apparently somewhere out in New Mexico we were close to where the La Llorona stuff was supposedly happened. So we even visited, what was that town? We visited the town because the winery there, that I can't think of the name of that either, but he had his own root beer. I thought it was alcoholic root beer until Ralphie got some, and I was like, oh, I guess it's not alcoholic. Ralphie's my nephew that's like 8 years old, I think, 8 to 10 years old, too. He might be 20, fuck if I know. He even had a sign that said La Llorona drinks here. I just thought that was cool. So we actually visited the town, apparently, where that stuff was supposed to have happened. So each section of the country, I guess, kind of has their own ghost stories. Every once in a while I see that on Facebook about, because there's like the Mothman, up in somewhere. I remember watching that movie and wasn't impressed with that one. That one kind of bored me. So like each area of the country, every once in a while I see on Facebook it comes across each state's like as my friend Marilee would call them, cryptid, I suppose, or excuse me, kind of their local like legend or whatever. So much less some other culture, like, Ireland having their own kind of special story to tell, so that's probably, I would assume, why Rupert Evans is in this. That's not the guy from Harry Potter, right? That's the other guy? That's Magneto, right? Was he Magneto? Rupert Evans? I don't know. Who am I thinking of? Rupert Grint. I'm thinking of Rupert Grint. Never mind. Forget, I know. Don't listen to me. I don't know anything. That's my problem. Let's see. What's this? Silent Retreat. The rules are simple. Apparently the rules are simple. I never learned the rules because I never opened this. I never watched this. I don't even know. That's the problem with not having any stickers or anything on these. I'm like, where did I buy these? Like, I didn't buy them. Some of them I know I picked up, just perusing the aisles at Walmart or whatever. And I'm like, ooh, look, that's a shiny slipcover. I want that. But like this doesn't. I don't. There's no stickers on this. I have no idea. I have no way to tell where the fuck I bought this. Why the fuck I bought this. Maybe because sometimes I watch videos and they're like, oh, here's like a, what do they call them? Like a controversial horror movie or something, and then that makes me want to actually watch it just to see what's so controversial about it, or if it's really as bad as people think, or maybe I'm just desensitized to fucking everything. That's also very possible. Sorry, I say that and then giggle like a true sociopath, right? Right? So I don't know. I've never heard of this one. I don't know why I have this one. I don't know where I bought this one. But I have it. Silent Retreat. Beautifully blends supernatural horror with the terrors of the real world. Rue Morgue. That is... maybe I got this in a horror block? Because I know Rue Morgue is... They used to send an issue of Rue Morgue in each of the horror blocks. Maybe I got this in a horror block. I don't know. All the fucks and farts stay in. I don't know if you heard it. But that's what that was, if you heard that. I know of this movie. The Invisible. I think I planned on going to see this at the theater and never made it, and then bought it and still never watched it. Together they must solve his murder before it's too late. Before it's too late! So... But yeah, I think it was kind of one of those, like, ghostly kind of mystery kind of things, and hopefully maybe more on the ghostly, ghostly mystery side of things than the, it's from the producers of Sixth Sense. I was going to say, hopefully it's more on the ghostly horror, mystery, suspense side than, like, Twilight or something. Where it's just kind of like, we love each other, and I'm going to solve your mystery because I love you. From the grave. Kind of, but, something like that. I don't know. He could live again. They must work quickly together to solve the mystery of his murder before it's too late, and Nick's chance to live again is lost forever, so that they can be together. Maybe that movie wouldn't have been so good. I don't know. How the hell would I know? I never watched the fucking thing. Late Phases, Night of the Lone Wolf. Gran Torino meets Silver Bullet. I've heard of Silver Bullet. I think I got it in... I added them all on my Netflix queue at some point. Again, I don't know where I bought this. A Howlin' Good Time, Night of the Lone Wolf. When the moon is full, the hunt is on. A masterpiece of the werewolf genre, apparently. Yeah, I didn't know. I don't know. I don't know. But there it is. Stake Island 2, Death is No Escape. I want to say maybe this was a horror block movie. I want to say the vampiric sequel we've all been dying for, apparently. I don't know. Stakeland 2? I didn't even know there was a Stakeland 1. I want to say, for some reason, I'm wanting to say this was a horror block thing. Because I think when I got it, I'm like, what about Stakeland 1? I don't know. I don't know where I came up with these. Don't know. Reuniting one of horror cinema's most memorable heroic teams, Stakeland 2 is an epic exploration of a post-apocalyptic world ravaged by bloodthirsty vamps and social collapse where only the strongest survive. I don't know. But there it is. At least it's keeping, because I've read the back of some of these already, and I feel like this is going on 40-50 minutes. One of the best horror movies I've seen this year, Evil Rises, Ghost Lake. I bought this movie because I'm pretty sure this is the one that I bought because it was so fucking terrible. It's one of those movies that's so bad that it's kind of entertaining in how bad that it really is. Now, the one thing, if this is the movie, that Rebecca, I'm going to read it, still grieving the death of her parents, takes a trip to the lake where her family used to spend summers together. Once there, she witnesses an escalating series of horrific events. The living dead are rising from the lake with an insatiable appetite for new souls. Clinging to the last shreds of her sanity, Rebecca must uncover the truth before she becomes their final victim. I want to say I got this in from Netflix, and I watched it, and it was just so terrible that I had to own it for some reason. And I was telling my friend Heidi at work about it, and that's why it's open, is because she wanted to watch it because it was so terrible. Now, I will say there's an effect at the end, or somewhere near the end, that was actually fairly well done for a low-budget movie, but it wasn't enough to, save the whole thing, so... I'm pretty sure that's this movie. Pretty sure. Ghost Lake. That's the movie I'm thinking of. So, you can watch it and see if it's just as terrible as I thought it was, or not. I don't want to show you the back because, the one redeeming quality of the movie, they actually show on the back of the package, and I don't want to give that away. So, because it's the one redeeming thing that I remember about this film, was the little thing at the end. So I'm not going to show it to you and make you sit through it like I did. Now here is Bloody Mary. I want to say, it's open. I probably watched it. Because sometimes, you have your slasher films, you have your werewolf films, zombie films, vampire films, so sometimes it's kind of nice to have something different, although I guess Bloody Mary is a ghost, but I guess she's a very specific ghost, or is she a witch, or is she, what is Bloody Mary? Is she a ghost? I guess maybe. So, the making of the witch. So it's just kind of, I guess, a different, you got your Nosferatu and your Mummy and, I guess Frankenstein, all of these, movies that people make movies about a lot. And then you have, La Llorona is her own kind of thing, and Bloody Mary is kind of her own kind of thing. Obviously this movie, I guess I should just say that from now on. If I feel like I've watched a movie and I don't remember it, it obviously didn't impress me very much. So, I don't know why I own it. I should have thrown it at Hastings a long time ago. Ta-da! There we go. I actually use my TV as part of my lighting in here. I need to get a lamp. I really need to get a lamp for that corner over there. But yeah. So I use my TV for my lighting, and then it just went to the screensaver, so that's why it went dark for a minute. But it's all okay. The lights only flickered twice. It's not even raining that hard, but okay, whatever. So yes, I'm gonna say that I watched this, but it must not have impressed me because I don't remember it at all enough to say anything about it. Like a lot of my movies, unfortunately. But yes, here's another 20 to 30, 40, 50-minute video of me blabbing on about my horror movies. Thank you again for watching, everyone who's, sat through everything. I know Hobbs did, Tanya has, she did just this morning. She watched like all 4 of them right back to back. So thank you for the dedication, I appreciate it. But instead of taking them in like small snippets, like, half an hour one day and half an hour the next day and whatever and blah, blah, blah. It's just poof, all at once. But, so yeah, this is, there's still plenty of horror movies over there to go. I haven't even got the ones from the front yet. So there's still a stack over there of the front ones. So we still got a little bit more to go. And then I've got all the ones from the things over there, and even my VHS collection. I can go through and, though a lot of probably my VHSs are probably the same as, I've just upgraded from, VHS to DVD. But I still have them. Some of them I still have. But anyway, that's today's installment. At least I knew a couple of the movies today, to say some shit about them. Instead of just like, well, what the fuck is this? I don't know. But anyway, I've blabbed on for long enough, and I will see you for when I see you.